Slay, a six-time Pro Bowler, was a key contributor to both the NFC champion team in 2022 and this year's title contender. He had 13 passes deflected during the regular season, 13th most in the league. In 3 postseason games this year, he has 10 solo tackles and an interception. April 2021, trades up to take wide receiver Devonta Smith. 10th overall out of Alabama. Philadelphia traded the number 12 pick and the number 84 pick in the 2021 draft for the 10th selection and took Smith, the Heisman Trophy winner, to bolster its pass catcher course. He has been that and more. Over 4 seasons, Smith has 308 receptions for 4,011 yards and 27 touchdowns. Smith has become the perfect complement to star wideout A.J. Brown, more on that in a second, because of his elite speed, shiftiness, and strong hands. His route running and separation against defensive backs are also among the NFL's best. Smith, 26, could be a difference maker Sunday against a Kansas City secondary that ranks in the middle of the league in most categories. Mailata, a former Australian rugby player, was drafted as a flyer in the 7th round of the 2018 draft. Flash forward to 2024, and he anchors one of the best offensive lines in football. Pro Football Focus ranks Mailata as the best offensive tackle in the NFL. According to ESPN Analytics, he wins 92% of his matchups on passing plays. Oh, and he's instrumental on the tush push. Mailata has signed 3 different contracts, this extension and then a new 3-year deal last offseason, to tie him to the Eagles through the 2028 season. Philadelphia sent New Orleans the 16th overall pick, the 19th overall pick, and a 6th rounder in exchange for number 18 overall, a 3rd rounder, a 7th rounder, a 2023 first-round pick, and a 2024 second-round pick. The move proved to be a long-term goldmine. Roseman took the 1st and 3rd round selections from that deal and flipped them in a trade with the Tennessee Titans for Brown. The 2023 first-round pick they got from the Saints? The Eagles used it to trade up with the Chicago Bears for the 9th overall pick and took defensive tackle Jalen Carter out of Georgia. Brown, a 3-time Pro Bowler, is now one of the best receivers in the NFL. He had 67 receptions for 179 yards and 7 touchdowns this season. He's coming off a monster performance in the NFC title game, 6 catches for 96 yards and a score. Carter, meanwhile, is a force up front. He's recognized as one of the top interior defensive linemen in the league, consistently getting in the backfield for quarterback pressures or run stops. March 2024 signed safety C.J. Gardner-Johnson to 3-year deal. The Eagles brought back Gardner-Johnson, who starred on their 2022 Super Bowl team, after a brief stint with the Detroit Lions on a 3-year, $33 million deal. He played 16 games this season with 6 interceptions, 3rd in the league, and 12 pass breakups, 18th. April 2024 drafts defensive backs Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean. Philadelphia took Mitchell 22nd overall out of Toledo. It then traded both of its second-round picks, number 50 and number 53, and a 5th rounder to Washington for number 40 and number 78. The former ended up being DeJean of Iowa, the Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year in 2023. Major contributors to the NFL's number 1 defense as rookies, they have thrived in their first postseason. Mitchell has allowed only 5 catches on 15 targets for 24 yards, with 2 interceptions and 4 pass breakups this postseason, according to Next Gen Stats. DeJean has 15 tackles and 3 pass breakups over the 3 games. Both players were among the 5 finalists for NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year. March 2024 signs running back Saquon Barkley to a 3-year deal. This wasn't just among the best decisions of the last year. It may go down as one of the best moves in NFL history. The New York Giants signed quarterback Daniel Jones to a 4-year, $160 million deal in March 2023 and tagged Barkley to keep him around another season. The following offseason, they opted to let their star running back hit the free agent market rather than pay him what he felt he was valued at. The Eagles did, with a 3-year, $37.75 million contract, and it has been worth that and then some. Barkley led the league with 2,005 rushing yards and 13 touchdowns. He has 442 yards on 66 carries, a 6.7-yard average, and 5 rushing scores this postseason alone. Barkley, 27, is a finalist for NFL MVP, and a main reason Philadelphia could win a Super Bowl. The Giants, meanwhile, cut Jones mid-season. He was seen in Barkley's suite earlier in the playoffs, cheering on his friend and former teammate. For New York fans, it doesn't get much worse than that, where he started his college career before a transfer. Hurts began as a backup behind Carson Wentz, but poor play by Wentz led Hurts to get playing time late in his rookie season. He never gave the job back. Though he is only 6'1", his physique and speed make him a perfect dual-threat quarterback. And while he has the ability to take off and run and execute the tush-push play better than anyone else in the NFL, his passing ability is also strong. This season, he completed a career-high 68.7% of his attempts. At 46-20 as a starter, Hurts again has Philadelphia on the verge of winning the Lombardi Trophy. March 2020, trades with Lions for cornerback Darius Slay. Roseman traded a third-round pick, number 85 overall, and a fifth-round pick, number 166 in 2020 to get the star defensive back. Slay immediately signed a 3-year, $50 million extension to remain in Philadelphia.
An explosive offense characterized by skilled players renders the Philadelphia Eagles an intriguing team to analyze for Super Bowl player propositions. Amassing an average of 35 points per game throughout this season's playoffs, the dynamic Eagles offense presents several compelling options in the prop marketplace. Featuring MVP contenders such as running back Saquon Barkley and quarterback Jalen Hurts, alongside a proficient receiving duo in A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith, the Philadelphia offense provides ample opportunities for evaluation. Saquon Barkley. The matchup of a fervent Barkley against a robust Kansas City Chiefs run defense makes the star running back's prop market noteworthy. Dominating the postseason with 5 touchdowns across the last 2 games, Barkley is averaging 22 carries and 147 rushing yards per game during the Eagles' 3 playoff victories. Barkley confronts a formidable challenge against a Kansas City defense that has not permitted any opposing running back to exceed 100 rushing yards this season. Throughout defensive coordinator Steve Spagnuolo's 6-year tenure, the Chiefs have not allowed 100 yards to any single running back during the NFL playoffs. A decisive moment is imminent. Executing a significant run could influence Barkley's over-under of 111. 5 rushing yards. With an NFL record of 7 touchdown runs exceeding 60 yards this season, including 3 such runs in the past 2 games, Barkley possesses the capability to make game-altering plays on any carry. As the season unfolded, Barkley became an increasingly critical component of the offense, surpassing his over-under of 21. 5 rushing attempts in 8 out of his last 12 contests.